in your tail of the tape. 28 years old on the side of Ethan Soderstrom, and a 3-inch reach on the side of John O'Brien.
The main event is brought to you by Dream Machines, the leader of on or off-road fun. Missouri's #1 Polaris dealership. Fighting out of the blue corner, Ethan Soderstrom! Fighting out of the red corner, John O'Brien! It's the co-main event! Let's make some noise!
You can hear the crowd is excited for this one. It's John O'Brien and Ethan Soderstrom. We're underway. And you see the odds. The slight favorite tonight is Ethan Soderstrom, the debuting fighter.
Already subtle feints from both guys.
Big body kick by Soderstrom, switching stances as well.
Both gentlemen switching stances and firing off kicks. And I love the shoulder feints of John O'Brien. When you bring your rear shoulder out in front, you can almost use it as a jab while staying in the same stance.
Trading kicks so far here in round number 1. Doubled up the jab and had a right hand behind it. But that time Soderstrom caught the kick. Was able to get O'Brien to the ground, but look how active O'Brien is.
Very active off his back. Here he's going for a little sweep, trying to get to the back. That was actually a slick transition to John O'Brien, now in on a single leg. Let's see if he decides to peek out. Good sprawl by Soderstrom, but still in on the takedown.
Yep, able to get his opponent to the ground as John O'Brien. This is right in his wheelhouse.
Let's see if John O'Brien chooses to lace the legs. He does lace the legs. Now he wants to turn him off the fence here. Wrist right attempt now for John. I said Job because his name's John O'Brien. We call him Job at the gym.
Trying to get the job done tonight.
You're on it tonight, man. You are on it.
Full mount for John O'Brien.
And so is John O'Brien. He's on it here tonight as he finds himself in full mount. And he's just taking his time. Like he said, one of his keys to victory was to stay patient. He's slowly cooking. He's not doing these big explosive movements. He's slowly transitioning now into mount. And he's going to choose to when he wants to land ground and pound. But for so far, he's just putting the hooks in. Soderstrom's going to explode, and he's going to let him explode until he feels like he's settled. And once he's settled, we're going to see John O'Brien open up.
Yep, looks like he's trying to jack that left arm up of Ethan Soderstrom, potentially an arm triangle attempt there, but he's taking whatever he's been given on the ground right now. You can see that first body kick definitely left a mark on John O'Brien.
Yeah, this is nice. I call this cooking someone, right? If John O'Brien has to make the decision. If I want to land good ground and pound, I need big posture like that. But when I do that, Soderstrom can time it, choose to explode, and then you lose the mount position. So he settles it, putting the hooks in first. That's the big explosion that was coming from Soderstrom. But now John O'Brien can flatten him out, right back to mount. And this is what you want to do. Big ground and pound. I told you it was coming. He wants to settle in first. And now we see Job opening up.
It's like a crock pot. It's like a slow cooking process.
Slow cooker. And that's what you want. Too many people try to land these big ground and pound shots without settling the guy first. And Grant Dawson, FAC vet, fought tonight, and he's one of the best at that. He'll slow cook you first, put you in the crock pot, and he's not trying to hurt you yet. He's just settling the position, good shoulder pressure. And once he feels like the big explosions are done, once he feels the settling of someone, like he's not trying as much to explode because he's a little tired, then he'll start to open up with these big ground and pound shots.
And you can feel that on top.
100%.
Right now.
It's like riding a bull. Like it's almost like when you first tick someone down, you end up in top half guard or top mount. They're bucking, and you're just squeezing, you're settling, good shoulder pressure. Make sure you're maintaining your hips in a certain place. And then once you feel them settled, that's where these big shots come.
Trying to get his feet on the cage is Soderstrom from the bottom, but right now John O'Brien has been in cruise control on top here in the first round with just under a minute to work.
Yeah, John does want to give him a little scoot off the fence so he can't wall walk here using his feet to possibly explode out of this.
Hey, 30 seconds, John.
Fingers in the eyes from the top.
Hey, let's try to put a stamp on the round. Let's cross
Yeah, if I'm John O'Brien, I'm just exploding this last 30 seconds. I'm about to get a minute break. I want to land some big shots to just, like his corner just said, put a stamp on it. At this point, I'm screaming at him and say, hey, let's hurt him here. Let's open up a cunt.
Yep, doing a great job and starting to throw some body shots up to the head as well. 10 seconds to go in round number 1. Soderstrom gonna have to figure out something to stop this grappling of John O'Brien in round number 2.
Can't ask for a better first round. Just got the takedown, then complete domination on top.
And look at that trio, 3 young prospects: Gage Young, Dylan Reichman, and John O'Brien.
Love to see it. Here on the Major FAC replay, we saw Phil guillotine. John O'Brien ends up on top, and then the story of the round was just work from out, the settling first, and the good ground and pound shots. I would like to see Job open up a little bit more towards that last minute. You got nothing to lose. You dominated the whole round, but nevertheless, looked great and landed some great shots in the process as we start round 2.
Yeah, picking and choosing his spots was John O'Brien. Soderstrom getting the instruction from Eric Koch in his corner. You know, he's got that experience, but yeah, you see the striking discrepancy in that round. 35 strikes to just 3 on the side of Soderstrom. He's got to find a way to find some success in this second round, but John O'Brien looking ready to go as well.
Ready? Fight.
Round number 2. And our fight clock is brought to you by Hoy Excavating.
For someone that spent 4 minutes on their back and bottom out, Soderstrom still looks pretty fresh.
Yep, big right hand by John O'Brien. And now Soderstrom looking to initiate the grappling. But now he's trying to break off here, it looked like.
Good knees by John O'Brien in the clinch.
O'Brien not going to let that happen. Reverse his position.
Infamous DC1, like we've seen all night, attempted there. Now switches it to in front. That was a beautiful transition. That's a DC1 to a DC2. A DC2 is when you step in the middle. So you get someone off balance, the DC1, then goes for the DC2.
Little high right there is John O'Brien. Soderstrom trying to shake him off the back, and he does just that. He's on top.
John getting a little greedy with trying to take the back and get a little high, but doesn't matter. Gets in on his own takedown.
Yep, big takedown by John O'Brien. Back to where we were in round number 1. John O'Brien in half guard here. Trying to slide. Oh, he is in half guard. Trying to slide him out. But he's almost very comfortable here. He's got his opponent almost completely flattened out.
Yeah, and he does a great job in maintaining position. That being said, I do want to see him open up a little bit more now that we've seen the success, the settling. Right, once the crock pot light goes green, it's time to eat, you know. It's time to get to work. So he's doing a great job of settling, but the second half of it still needs to be done here as he takes the back, puts the second hook in effortlessly, has him flattened out. This is the moment, this is the time for him to open up here.
Yeah, just effortlessly floated on top right there into full mount. Took the back for a moment. Soderstrom just looking to find some answers tonight off his back, and he can't find any.
And the key to good ground and pound, or I should say big ground and pound, is posture. So anytime you can get good posture, that's when you land. Like, it's gravity, right? Physics. I mean, I dropped out of college to pursue fighting, but I'm not the smartest guy. But physics-wise, to land good ground and pound, I need to have good posture. I need gravity on my side. So if I'm on top of you, I want to stand tall and drop big shots. So it's a decision Job has to make, is maintaining position while also trying to land good ground and pound. And he's done a good job at the first part, but I'd like to see him open up more.
Keep trying to drag that arm up too.
But I'll tell you what, if he is looking for an arm triangle, what'll make it easier is if he's landing elbows and opening up Xbox logos on the head of Soderstrom. So
right, has the utilization of the elbows as a pro. John O'Brien just dominating so far here in the grappling department. And you do see the ground and pound. John O'Brien is staying busy enough with the body shots
Absolutely.
in the head.
And if he was in guard right now, this would be suffice enough. But he's in full mount. This is a checkmate position. I'd like to see him land bigger shots here.
Denies the explosion again.
Take the risk, because it is worth it. You've dominated. He has no answer for you. He's tried the bucks. He's had the explosions. Now it's time. And maybe I'm being a little harsh of a critic on John O'Brien here, but he's doing all the right things. It's just, let's open up a little bit. Here he can land some big shots. He's looking for the choke instead, but I would love to see him go to work now with some punches and elbows. Here we go.
Good elbow right there by John O'Brien. Now he's starting to open up a little bit. There's the explosion, but O'Brien settles in. Under a minute to work here in round number 2.
And don't get it twisted. He's being suffocating. He's doing the right things. Earlier, he was employing the face mask, right? Face washing the face of Soderstrom with his hand. But normally that's used so you can do this, land bigger shots like elbows. From here, Job can land good shots, but with those hooks there, he can't get the posture he needs to land harder shots. So he needs to make the decision, right? If I let go of these hooks and go to a mount where I'm a little higher on the chest, I can land big shots. I might lose the position, but I can always rework to it. And he's had no problem getting there.
Not at all so far. Under 30 seconds to go here. John O'Brien just dominating this fight so far.
Hey, we're at 15. Hey, let's posture, look for damage. Nice.
There's a nice elbow by John O'Brien. Trying to open a cut on Soderstrom. He might have. There, he's got it completely flattened out. It's on the chin, but it's pretty tight. Soderstrom doing a good job defending. He'll make it to the end of the round. As John O'Brien did open a cut on the forehead of Ethan Soderstrom. Kind of shoved his head down. Did you see that when he got up?
I pretended not to notice. No, look, man, we're in a fight. It's
nothing, gamesmanship.
Yeah, it's nothing nice here. I'm not mad at it at all.
Oh, just a little gamesmanship,
yeah,
right?
Just a little gamesmanship. You know, a lot of this sport is mental, so you can have all the skills in the world, but especially at the highest level, everyone's good, right? Everyone in the UFC is good, but it's mental what separates top 10, top 5 to world champ. And yeah, it's all a momentum game. If the momentum's going in your favor, I want to keep it in my favor. So I might get in the face of somebody. I might keep their head down. I might push them off of me at the end of the round, especially if I'm up this big, just to show like, hey, I'm a little broing you right now. So this ain't golf, Josh. This ain't golf. and sometimes...
hey, there's trash talking in golf.
Yeah.
I have no question about it, though. John O'Brien looking incredible tonight.
Yeah, and Soderstrom has to know he's down. He's down 2.
Fight, guys.
He's down 2. He needs a finish and to go for broke here.
Had that good body kick in the opening of the first round. Goes back to it. Oh, big head kick by Soderstrom.
And that's what he needs. He needs a big shot like this to turn the momentum around.
It's a good point by you, Jeff. He does have good cardio. He's fresh coming out of these rounds, even though he's been on his back. Great knee by Soderstrom.
Big knee.
Body kick by O'Brien.
And draws a reaction of John O'Brien, that knee does. And if I'm John O'Brien, I'm going back to the well. I'm going back for the takedown.
And it's Soderstrom in on the grappling scene. Just beautiful lateral drop by Soderstrom.
Beautiful lat drop. John immediately back to his knees, trying to get in on a takedown of his own. Soderstrom needs to put both hands on the back of the head of Job just like that. Good frame.
Good push kick by Soderstrom. He's back into this fight, but he needs a finish.
Whipping hooks from John O'Brien, but Soderstrom continuing to walk forward. Another high kick attempt, this time to no avail.
Oh, almost ran into the knee, but a great sprawl by Soderstrom.
Yeah, almost kneed on the way in. That could have been a fight ender.
You could see
in on the body lock. Beautiful. Wow. Was in on the body lock. Soderstrom was doing the right things to defend, but John sucked it in. Knee slid, secured the takedown, got the trip. Now back where he's found himself in the last 2 rounds in full mount.
Yep, Soderstrom was having success on the feet there to start round number 3, but John O'Brien back to business on the ground and said enough of that.
Yeah, back to his suffocating ways, and he puts the 2 hooks in from mount, and that just secures the hips of Soderstrom, so the explosion just isn't there. Like I've been speaking about the last 2 rounds, if he wants to land the good ground and pound shots, he needs to undo those hooks. But when you do that, you take the risk of the explosion of the buck
Of
and you
the
lose
feet,
position.
correct?
Yeah.
Yep, riding in cruise control is John O'Brien right here, round number 3. But does have plenty of time to work as well for the finish.
And for Soderstrom, he's just having a tough time undoing those hooks, and it's tough. It is a checkmate position because you basically have to allow John O'Brien to punch you in the face 3-4 times so you can push a knee to get out. And he just hasn't accepted that fact and gone to that defense and has had trouble leaving this bottom mount position.
O'Brien definitely showing off the grappling tonight. Maybe a couple more explosions from Soderstrom. He's going to have to do something as he's been dominated so far in this fight.
Yeah, but you got to realize it hasn't worked so far, so it's probably not going to work. He needs to bring both his hands on the inside, push the knee of John O'Brien, start shrimping. It's not going to happen on the first try. He's going to get hit in the meantime, but he will eventually get to half guard if he shrimps and gets to a hip. But credit to where credit is due. John O'Brien's just being suffocating here, using his chest, putting it on the face of Soderstrom. Excellent shoulder pressure. I would just like to see a little bit more activity from John O'Brien.
And that's what John O'Brien's good enough to go to the next level, and that's what they look for in the next level.
Absolutely. If you can do this to somebody, you can also do the next step, which is the Xbox logos I was talking about. Bloodying someone up, landing good ground and pound shots. And it takes a mix of it. So if you look at high-level ground and pounders, they'll posture up, land these 2-3 big shots, and they're right back to suffocating, right back to the face wash, right back to my chest in your face.
There he is. He's posturing up here at the end of the round.
John O'Brien might have heard me here. And then goes back to this, but this should be a 3, 4, 5 second thing, and then right back to the big ground and pound.
Mix it up.
That is how you truly cook someone. You take it from the crock pot to the grill, and then you finish. A lot of cooking references here tonight, John.
Yep. Getting hungry.
Temporary key lock. There's not going to be much there for John.
Nope, John O'Brien, 15 seconds. He's going for the armbar, but you can hear his corner telling him to go for it now.
Yeah, what is there to lose? Soderstrom rolls for a leg to no avail, and John finds himself here on top.
And a smart, methodical fight by John O'Brien. And a dominating one, too. He was in control for 90% of that fight.
Yeah, it's tough Soderstrom. Found himself in terrible positions, but fought through it. Here in the replay brought to you by Major Pack. We see that high kick, and that definitely shook the legs of John O'Brien. Here we see a frame. John lands a good knee, but then there's the lat drop. Temporarily sits down John O'Brien. Another high kick off a break. And then here we see just the chain wrestling of John O'Brien. Failed takedown to a successful takedown off the body lock. Ends up in full mount where he found himself most rounds, or for all 3 rounds, he found himself in his top mount. Was able to land some good ground and pound shots.
100%, yeah, John O'Brien dominated. You can see the striking discrepancy right there on our fight stats. 110 strikes to 18 on the side of Soderstrom. 12 minutes of control time out of the 15. Crazy.
It's got to feel good for John O'Brien. Long layoff. He had a kickboxing fight last year, but it's not the same. Different sport. He hasn't fought professionally in over 3 years, so I'm sure it's good to be back. I'm sure it's good to pick up a win over a tough guy.
And to get that cage time, too.
100%, yeah. That being said, being his training partner, being his friend. Let's open up some more Josh, or John. I keep saying John and Josh. Let's open up some more John O'Brien. You have all the skills. You're doing the right things. Now let's start hurting people, you know?
Right, we'll definitely see John O'Brien back. I'm sure he'll have a big fight. He's a guy that could headline an FAC show, as you see him here in the co-main event tonight. But
Absolutely.
5-1 likely after tonight. That's a really good record as a pro.
Absolutely, and has all the skills in the world. And I guess that maybe that's why I'm being a little harsh on him. And I hate if I am standing that way, but at the same time, I don't care. As a friend and training partner, he has the skills. Let's start hurting fools. Let's start. You're doing the right things. You're just missing the last step. And I'm sure he'll learn from this. This will be a learning lesson, and I'm sure it's just good to be back.
Welcome back indeed, John O'Brien.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our co-main event tonight, going the full distance, 3 5-minute rounds. Way to go, gentlemen. Way to go. Judge Geary scores about 30-27. Judge Marquez scores about 30-26. And Judge Miller scores about 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, John O'Brien!
The rare 10-8 round given by Judge Fernando Marquez.
I wonder which round it was.
I do too.
That's your winner announcement brought to you by Milagro Tequila. Enjoy your brighter side of tequila with Milagro. John O'Brien in the victor's circle tonight, improving to 5-1, as we said. Big fights looming for this guy, John O'Brien. Dominating performance tonight as he takes it in. One last bow on that performance. The crowd appreciated it. John O'Brien is your winner tonight.